Hello everyone and greetings of the day. I am Ms.Sarika Joshi, Assistant Professor at AISSMS College of Hotel Management and Catering Technology. In my today's video session, I shall take you through different forms and meaning of nonverbal communication. In my last session, we have gone through different forms of verbal communication. Dear students, you must have heard about this very common proverb actions speak louder than words. It means that the things you say and the things you don't say, or the things you do and the things you don't, always sending a loud message to those around you. What kind of a message are you sending? Is it a true reflection of who you are? Let's have a look at it with the help of nonverbal communication. So, what exactly it is? It is a communication which does not involve the spoken words and is referred to as nonverbal. So, it uses receiving and sending of messages with the help of different gestures, postures, eye contact, physical appearance, etc. Always remember that verbal and nonverbal communication go hand in hand. It either supports or replaces the verbal communication. And almost about 60 to 70 form of communication occurs through nonverbal communication, as it's considered as one of the best means of expressing emotions. This figure exactly depicts the different forms of nonverbal communication that we are going to see in this upcoming slide. Some of these mentioned here are kinesics, physical, personal appearance, proxemics, haptics, vocalics, chronemics, and physical environment. Let's have a look at them one by one in detail. The first form of non-verbal communication we are going to see is kinesics, which is nothing but body movements. The word kinesics comes from the root word kinesis, which means the movement, and it refers to the movement of study of hand, arm, body, and some face movements. Face movements, as I said, or facial expression is integral when expressing emotions through your body. Various combinations of eyes, eyebrows, lips, nose, cheek, head movements help us form different moods of an individual. It can tell whether you are happy, sad, depressed, angry, etc. You have and must have noticed all these facial expressions in your day-to-day life. It's one of the main indicators of someone's attitude, emotions, or feeling at that particular point of time. Not only do facial expression matter, but the other movements of the body parts like neck, shoulders, hands, fingers, and legs also matter while you are communicating. So, as I already said that facial expression no doubt is the most common and telling non-verbal form of communication. Human faces are able to make almost more than 10,000 different expressions. Yes, you will not believe that, but that's true. The sum of the common ones that we usually see is a sad face, or for that matter, an angry face or an expression of face which depicts anger, or a surprise face, or for that matter, a face which says no or anguish or anger. And of course, the very common and the beautiful one is a smile. A smile or a welcoming smile or a warm smile establishes your relations with the other person. A piece of facial expression has also to do with the mouth. So let's have a look at it. In the adjoining figure, you can see that there are different facial expressions made with the help of mouth. A dropped jaw, for example, in case of a surprise, or another example is an open mouth in case of a fear. One side of a mouth raised, which shows that you're hating something, and the corners raised in case of unhappiness. Right now also, when I utter a word happiness, I can feel that. corners drawn down in case you are sad. Or a very common one which you must have definitely noticed is lip biting in case a person who's anxious or anxiety. Covering the mouth in case you are hiding something. That means if you are hiding or lying, it tends to happen that you cover your mouth. So remember, it's not that your words, but it's your facial expressions which are giving a message to the other person who's observing you. Next is eyebrows and eyes, which becomes a form of your facial expression. Eyebrows tell a lot about what a person is exactly feeling or feeling. Next, a raised and an arched eyebrow tells that you are surprised, or a lowered and a knit together eyebrows shows that you are angry. You can very clearly see that in the adjoining image. The inner corners drawn up says that a person is sad. Not only does the eyebrows, the only thing which more telling than the eyebrows is eyes themselves. They might be wide open in case of a surprise. So your surprise automatically your eyes are wide open and eyebrows raised. In case of intensely staring someone with an anger, okay, your eyes will show that you are staring or looking at somebody with the anger. In case you are happy, your eyes will glow. So eyes and eyebrows also depicts different feelings, emotions, and that particular point of time. To express some of these, no one can beat our all-time favorite and funny Mr. Bean. So let's have a look at it. Funny, wasn't that? Other forms of non-verbal communication. Another way is through an eye contact. This is one of the primary ways that human beings gauge interest or disinterest. A good eye contact shows that you are paying attention to the speaker or that you are interested. It definitely does not mean actually staring at a person. Body movement includes common practices like hand gestures. So hand gestures are the movements which are made with the help of hands, arms and fingers, and they may be either voluntary or non-voluntary. If you see in the adjoining figure, the person who is trying to explain someone or who is talking to someone is using the hand gestures that makes the person to make or understand the subject or the message more easily. Some other examples mentioned here are folded arms, arms crossed over the other, the shrug, relaxed hands, finger gestures, etc. We all commonly daily use all these hand gestures. In fact, while we communicate, we cannot communicate without the use of hand gestures. A very common example here to mention to your students is a singer. Have you ever observed a singer singing? His hand movements will be easily seen while he is singing and it complements his singing impact. The other common one mentioned here are salute and handshake. A firm handshake while you're greeting someone is an important body gesture. Cross fingers. Oh my God, this should not happen. Or a V or a victory sign. Thumbs up or thumbs down when you are wishing someone best luck, or a clenched fist when you are angry. Folded hands together, that means another way of greeting. Or you must have observed various hand gestures while a cricket match is going on. So aren't these common, dear students? Use of hand gestures and postures are very common while we are communicating. So what is a posture? A body posture is a way that you sit or stand and how open your body is to others around you. It communicates a lot about your attitude and an emotional state. Posture is critical in making a strong impression. Someone who stands with a back straight and head high shows confidence and strength, while someone who is slouched and facing the floor demonstrates weakness. To express friendliness and positivity, one should maintain an open posture, like stand up with your legs apart and keep your heads raised. A closed posture, especially crossed arms, cro- crossed chest, gives the impression of a boredom and an hospitality. So mind it very well next time. Probably you are appearing for a viva or an interview. Your body posture matters a lot about your attitude. Let's have a look at this video based on body language in which we can see the use of gestures and postures clearly.
Welcome to Mind Tools video learning series. You may not realize it, but you send out silent, nonverbal signals to people every day. This is your body language, and it can reveal how you're truly feeling when perhaps your words don't. Body language might include your facial expression, your hand movements, or your posture. Most of the time, it's unconscious. But there are some clues that can help you to interpret and use it to your advantage. Being aware of other people's negative body language is particularly useful and can help you to pick up on unspoken problems. For example, if someone you're speaking to is standing or sitting with his arms folded tightly across his body, he's probably not happy with what you're saying. Other negative signs to watch out for include tense facial expressions, someone turning his body away from you or avoiding eye contact. Your own body language should reinforce what you're trying to communicate verbally. Otherwise, you risk sending mixed signals. With the right body language, you can convey openness, confidence, and receptiveness. For example, you can make a confident and positive first impression by standing with an open posture that's relaxed and upright, and by keeping your hands down by your sides. Maintain solid eye contact with the person you're speaking to, and try to hold her gaze for a few seconds at a time. This will show her that you're sincere and alert. Adopting positive body language can also help when you're speaking in public. For example, you'll look more confident if you keep your shoulders back and maintain an upright but relaxed posture, keeping your weight evenly distributed, with one foot slightly in front of the other. Hand movements can also help. For example, spreading your hands apart in front of you, with your palms facing slightly towards your audience, can indicate a willingness to communicate and share ideas. At the same time, it's important to maintain control. Too much hand movement can distract from what you're saying. To find out more about how to interpret body language and use it to your advantage, read the article that accompanies this video.
Another form of nonverbal communication, as mentioned in the slide, is proxemics, which is nothing but the use of space during communication. This is the measure of physical distance between the people when they communicate. The standard amount of personal space expected by someone varies depending on the setting, that means in whichever context the communication is happening, and is somewhat culture specific too. For example, in this adjoining image, you can see that the facilitator is delivering a lecture and the listeners, who is a pool of people, are sitting having a specific distance and maintaining it. This distance or this space definitely differs from one context to another. Let's see that in detail with the help of this diagram. In this diagram, you will see four different kinds of distance or a space maintained during communication. The first one is the intimate distance, which is maintained while you are embracing someone, touching, or whispering with someone. As you can see, the distance is too small, almost about 6 to 18 inches only. That means you are pretty very close to that person. The second mention here is a personal distance for interactions among good friends or your family members. The distance mentioned here is anything between 1.5 to 4 feet. The third one is a social distance for interactions among acquaintances, which is nothing but between 4 feet to 12 feet. So if you see the second and third example, you will see that as the relations move from informal to formal, the distance also increases from lesser to the larger. The last one to mention here is a public distance, which is used while public speaking. This distance can be anything between 12 to 25 feet. So dear students, you must have observed this kind of spacing or this kind of distance which automatically occurs depending on the formal or informal meet. The next to discuss here is haptics or a use of touch during communication. Many interactions begin with an exchange of physical touch. Like the one in this image you can see is a handshake. A very common one is a hug while you are meeting your friend or holding hands in case of a relationship. Backslapping or giving a high five to your friend. Brushing up against someone or patting someone to tell him or her that you have done a very good job have all meanings attached to it. So physical touch definitely does play a very important role in case of a communication. Let us have a look at the next one, which is the use of time in communication. It's called as chronomics. Time can be used as a communication tool. You must wonder how. It is by way of following the punctuality or by expecting around waiting and the response time or any other general principle of a time management. Let me explain you this with the help of an example. Suppose you are awaiting for a speech to be delivered by a person. You expect the speaker to come on time. This shows punctuality, and by that you form some kind of an impression about that person or personality. The second thing that you expect as a listener is that the speaker should finish the speech or the delivery or the presentation in the given period of time. That means he should not exceed it. Would you like a teacher to exceed the session beyond the class time limit? I guess no. That's how the listeners expect time management from the speaker. It's very important here to respect your own time and others' time too. So this is how chronomics play an important role in the non-verbal communication. The very important one here to discuss is the paralanguage. This category covers the vocal qualities of a speaker like the loudness or a tone of a voice. So it is expected that you got to raise or lower your voice tone according to kind of a speech, the examples, or anywhere in the middle of your communication. Paralinguistic signals are any aspect of a sound of a voice outside the direct verbal translation of words being spoken. So here I will say that it is not only important what you speak, but it is equally important how you speak. That particular message is given to the listener. The tone, the speed while selling a product, for example, by a marketing person, the kind of stress that he gives on the words, while delivering a speech. Or suppose a interaction between a student and a teacher, where teacher probably might ask some questions, give it a pause, let the students think over and then answer, are all forms of paralanguage. Sometimes even sarcasm can be an example to a paralanguage wherein we say the things but we exactly mean not to do or not to say so. So here are some of the non-verbal forms of communication that we have discussed so far. To develop successful relationships, it is important that you have a strong speaking skills, but also a keen understanding of non-verbal clues that accompany your conversation. Having an awareness and even a control of all these aspects will be very useful in life. To make this particular video, dear students, I have referred to the following websites, and a YouTube link is also being provided, which is what I have used during my presentation. So thank you so much, dear students, for patiently listening to my video on nonverbal communication. I shall come up with another video session very soon. So till then, take care and goodbye. Thank you so much.